Hello students, welcome to readmedprep Academy channel. Today in Evolution Part 5, we are going to talk about the Hardy-Weinberg principle, origin and evolution of man. In nature, populations are usually evolving, such as the grass in an open meadow, wolves in a forest and bacteria in a person's body. All are natural populations. All of these populations are likely to be evolving some of their genes. Evolution does not mean that the population is moving towards perfection, rather than the population is changing its genetic makeup over generation. For example, in a wolf population, there may be a shift in the frequency of a gene variant for black fur than gray fur. Sometimes this type of change is due to natural selection or due to migration or due to random events. First, we will see the set of conditions required for a population not to evolve. Hardy of UK and Weinberg of Germany stated that the allele frequencies in a population are stable and are constant from generation to generation. In the absence of gene flow, gene drift, mutation, recombination and natural selection. If a population is in a state of Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, the frequencies of alleles and genotypes or sets of alleles in the population will remain same over generations. Evolution is a change in the allele frequencies in a population over time. Hence, population in Hardy-Weinberg principle or equilibrium is not evolving. Introducing the Hardy-Weinberg principle, it is a mathematical model used to calculate the allele frequencies of traits with dominant and recessive alleles. The model assumes that the population is large, random mating, is experiencing no selection, has no mutation, emigration or immigration. All these assumptions are met, then the allele frequencies of the population will remain stable over time. Suppose we have a large population of beetles, infinitely large, and appear in two colors, dark grey or black and light grey, and their color is determined by capital A gene. Homozygous dominant capital A and heterozygous dominant capital A small a beetles are dark grey, and homozygous recessive small a beetles are light grey. In a population, let's say that capital A allele has frequency P of 0.3 and small a allele has a frequency Q of 0.7. Then P plus Q is equal to 1. If a population is in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, the genotype frequency can be estimated by Hardy-Weinberg equation. The equation is P plus Q the whole square is equal to P square plus 2PQ plus Q square, where P square is the frequency of capital A. 2PQ is the frequency of capital A small a. Q square is the frequency of small a. So P is equal to 0.3, Q is equal to 0.7. Then P square is equal to 0.3 the whole square, that is equal to 0.09 or 9% capital A. 2PQ, 2 into 0.3 into 0.7, that is equal to 0.42. That is equal to 42% capital A small a, heterozygous dominant. Q square is equal to 0.7 the whole square, that is equal to 0.49, that is equal to 49%. So the homozygous recessive is 49%. Hence the beetle population appears to be in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. When the beetles in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium reproduce, the allele and the genotype frequency in the next generation would be, let's assume that the frequency of capital A and small a allele in the pool of gametes that makes the next generation would be the same. Then there would be no variation in the progeny. The genotype frequencies of the parent appears in the next generation, that is 9% capital A, 42% capital A small a and 49% small a. If we assume that the beetles mate randomly, selection of male gamete and female gamete in the pool of gametes, the probability of getting the offspring genotype depends on the genotype of the combining parental gametes. So to sum up the Hardy-Weinberg principle, P square, the frequency of homozygous dominant phenotype, plus 2PQ, the frequency of heterozygous genotype, plus Q square, the frequency of homozygous recessive genotype, is equal to 1. Hardy-Weinberg's assumptions include no mutation, no new alleles are generated by mutation or the genes get duplicated or deleted. Random mating, every organism gets a chance to mate and the mating is random with each other with no preferences for a particular genotype. No gene flow, neither individuals nor their gametes enter immigration or exit emigration of the population. Very large population size, the population should be infinite in size. No natural selection, all alleles are fit to survive and reproduce. To sum up in a cartoon manner, the assumptions of Hardy-Weinberg principle: no selection, no mutation, no migration, large population and random mating. If any of these assumptions are not met, the population will not be in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Only if the allele frequencies changes from one generation to the other, evolution will take place. Now, let us move on to the origin and evolution of man. Mammals evolved in the early Jurassic period about 210 million years ago. Hominid evolution occurred in Asia and Africa. Hominids proved that human beings are superior to other animals and efficient in making tools and culture. The earliest fossils of the prehistoric man, like Ramapithecus and Sivapithecus, lived some 14 million years ago and were derived from ape-like Dryopithecus. Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus were hairy and walked like gorillas and chimpanzees. You can see the Ramapithecus, Sivapithecus and Dryopithecus images below. Australopithecus lived in East African grasslands about 5 million years ago and was called the Australian ape man. He was about 1.5 meters tall with bipedal locomotion, omnivorous and semi-erect, and lived in caves. The skull had low forehead, brow ridges over the eyes, protruding face, lack of chin, low brain capacity of about 350 to 450 cc. Human-like dentition, lumbar curve in the vertebral column were his distinguishing features. Homo habilis lived about 2 million years ago. Their brain capacity was between 650 to 800 cc and was probably vegetarian. They had bipedal locomotion and used tools made of chipped stones. Homo erectus, the first human-like being, was around 1.7 million years ago and was much closer to the human in looks. Skull was flatter and thicker than the modern man and had a large brain capacity of around 900 cc. Homo erectus probably ate meat. Here in this image you can see the Homo habilis skull above and the Homo erectus skull below. You can see the slight changes where the frontal prominence occurred, increase in the size of the brain, and the face changes and the orbital ridge changes. Homo ergaster and Homo erectus were the first to leave Africa. Neanderthal human was found in Neander Valley, Germany, with a brain size of 1400 cc and lived between 34,000 to 1 lakh years ago. Neanderthal human differ from the modern human in having semi-erect posture, flat cranium, sloping forehead, thin large orbits, heavy brow ridges, protruding jaw and no chin. They used animal hides to protect their bodies, knew the use of fire and buried their dead. They did not practice agriculture and animal domestication. Here in this image, you can see the Neanderthal man's skull. It has a long, flat, low brain case, occipital bun, suprailiac fossa, large gap behind the third molar, little or no chin, mental eminence, projecting mid-face, large nasal cavity, supraorbital torus, receding forehead, circular orbits. Cro-Magnon was one of the most talked forms of modern human found from the rocks of Cro-Magnon, France, and is considered as the ancestor of modern Europeans. They were not only adapted to various environmental conditions, but were also known for their cave paintings, figures on floors and walls. Here you can see, to sum up the evolution of man, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man, and Homo sapiens. You can see the evolution of the skull of different prehistoric men. Australopithecus, which was considered as the man ape between 2 and 3 million years ago. Homo erectus, otherwise called the Java man, 750,000 years ago. Homo sapiens or Neanderthalensis or Neanderthal man between 1 lakh and 4 lakh years ago. Homo sapiens, El Homo sage, about 40,000 years ago to the present. You can see the changes in the skull where there is increase in the size of the brain capacity, the orbital ridges, the mandible, the projection of the face, etc. So today in evolution part 5, we discuss about the Hardy-Weinberg principle and origin and evolution of man. Thank you. Kindly subscribe, like, share and comment to channel readmedprep Academy. Register for UG and PG NEET like MCQs in our website www.readmedprepacademy.com. Join readmedprep Academy. WhatsApp the number given below. Our Facebook ID is readmedprep Academy. Our email is readmedprepacademy@gmail.com. Our Instagram is readmedprep Academy. Kindly post your questions in the comment box. We will reply with appropriate answers. Thank you very much.